Hello, so we're back and we're in Oranienburg in Germany, north of Berlin, and we're going to the largest concentration camp within Germany. There was obviously many, the largest being Auschwitz in German-occupied Poland. But we're going to one where, though not as large, the deaths are equally as saddening. The experimentation on people, a real raw experience. Going to a place where at least 30,000 people were murdered in some of the most horrific conditions that have ever existed or ever will exist.
Before we delve into its horrors, a crucial point. What you will see today is not exactly what existed during the war. Sachsenhausen has a complex and disturbing history, serving multiple purposes over time. So, much of the original camp structure was altered and destroyed, first by the Nazis attempting to erase their crimes, and then later by the Soviets, who used it as a special camp after the war. So, while the current memorial offers a stark and important experience, it's vital to remember that the true scale of the atrocities, the sheer density of suffering, is impossible to fully grasp from the present-day site. Please keep this in mind as we explore. As much as I'd like to include all the pieces of information and pay respect in regard to properly document my journey through Sachsenhausen Concentration Camp, I fear there is simply too much for me to be able to include. And this is one of, as I've said before, thousands of concentration camps, extermination camps, detention centres, labour camps, places of severe torment against our own species. We are all one. I'm currently walking on the track plan, 700 metres. I'm walking the same path. Thousands poor, innocent people were tortured on. I walked in the footsteps of its victims. Along a 700-metre stretch of horror, the Schulaufbahn, the shoe testing track. This wasn't a casual stroll, it was a forced march, a grueling ordeal designed to break prisoners physically and psychologically, testing materials due to Germany's shortage of leather. The Nazis of course claimed it was for testing shoe durability. A lie. It was about dehumanization, about breaking the will to live. Those who fell were often shot or left to die from exposure and infection.
Corridor, the corpses of inmates who had starved to death were piled up 1 metre high. This is the corridor. You would not believe it. I mean, I think we are so far removed from the horrors of the past, at least where I am in the UK. It doesn't seem possible that we could allow such horrific, vile acts to go on for so many years.
Early reports, even before the war, spoke of brutality in camps like Sachsenhausen. Refugees, escapees, whispered of horrors. As war engulfed Europe, these whispers grew louder. Resistance movements gathered intelligence, passing it to the Allies. Key moments, like the Reichen Telegram, 1942, a chilling confirmation of planned extermination. The world was warned. By 1944, aerial reconnaissance offered visual proof. The scale of the camps, undeniable. Liberation brought the full horror to light. Auschwitz, Majdanek, then Sachsenhausen. The world confronted the grim reality.
This room was initially used as a dissection room from 1939. This was due to the high mortality rate. The space was far from sufficient to store the many corpses, and so in the summer of 1940, the SS planned to build 3 large morgues and a pathology department. This new building was built directly next to the infirmary barracks and opened in 1941.
That's a really weird feeling. As we continue exploring this concentration camp, I want to really emphasize that thousands, at the lowest conservative estimate, 30,000 people died, with many considering it to be up to and possibly in excess of 100,000 people. Wow. In this room, so many bodies were placed that they suffocate. Yeah. And I'm really, it's strange because here I stand face to face with a history of torture and torment. And I keep saying it, and I feel like I have to keep saying it because there isn't a word that I'm aware of, or a load of words to describe what it feels like to bring yourself to that awareness that you are really in the place that this happened. Going inside the tower here. It's weird. It's really weird being here. As you'd expect. I'm the only one in this room, in this tower. Where people would be shot from for trying to escape. Go and see the town area. Now, this complex is pretty big. I'm not sure if you can gauge it, but there's lots of empty space. Now, I would have cut a lot out of this because, I mean, for a viewer watching this, I don't believe you'd simply be able to take in all the information. Maybe I'll do a long form, but there's so much that will be cut from this to condense it down to something very small. But take a look. Take a look. It scared the shit out of me. Here I am thinking about videos where places that horrific things have happened and seeing apparitions or something. Not that I believe in them. That TV came on, I think it's motion censored or it's timed. I go into this room here and then it turns on, like, fuck, it scared the shit out of me. Anyway, God, oh my God. I can't take it all in. There's just so much. And this is, again, one of thousands. We're now approaching the mass graves of the camp. These people didn't pass away in their sleep, without pain, without torment. These people died in often agony, torment, watching their friends, family members, comrades die before them, knowing they could be next. Discipline required in such conditions.
Here we are. It's a very different experience being in a place versus seeing it on a camera or a screen.